Okay, so good evening and welcome to this pre-placement talk. Um, Thankful to Mittal Commerce Classes for enabling this session for us, and warm welcome to all students and recent pass outs of the Chartered Accountancy program to this talk. I will speak on Wipro briefly, and then I will spend some amount of time on the Wipro Finance cohort program. And after that, we will take questions from all of you, and we will try to answer as much of that is possible within the 1 hour that's available with us. With that, I will begin by introducing Wipro, the organization first. So the organization Wipro is 76 years old. We've just finished celebrating our the 75-year milestone because we started off in the year 1945, pre-independence. We have a heritage of working on FMCG and manufacturing before we started off our journey in the IT industry. Today, Wipro Limited, or this organization that I'm representing here today, we are a pure play IT services company. But we had a checkered history in the past. Year 2000 was a large milestone for us. We listed on the New York Stock Exchange and entered the BPO business. In the 2010s, we've in the last 12 years, we've significantly expanded our footprint in terms of portfolio of services in digital services by organically expanding them as well as by inorganic acquisitions. Recently, in the last 5 years, we've rebranded ourselves and re-articulated the spirit of Wipro. And in 2020, we completed 75 years. And that's a brief history of Wipro. And I will take you now into further details as to current business environment in terms of technology, business, and customer expectations. The word transformation is probably underrated if you looked at the reference to it pre-2019 and now. Post-COVID, the transformation that we have seen across all sectors that we can imagine is so profound that everything else pales in comparison. But from a technology perspective, some of these technologies that enable us to survive in the new normal in the post-COVID world were all out there even 2 years ago, and they were coming together. For instance, cloud, conferencing technologies like the ones that we are talking of, automation, analytics, the ability to have a distributed working environment. These are all things that came about because of transformative ideas and things that organizations and corporates are leveraging technology for their own business, the way they do work, the way they operate their business, the way they treat their workforce. So we are in an age of transformation, and that's entirely powered by technology, or majorly powered by technology. The next slide talks about the imperatives to be future ready in terms of the transformation and the effect that it can give for the future. You will see 6 boxes here. All of them relate to some of the themes that will drive our future. I'll pick up cloud economy. A few years ago, cloud was not something that the average non-technology person would understand, right? But today they understand. It's become ubiquitous. The leverage of cloud-based applications, even consumer applications. So does enterprise applications that have started transforming the way businesses operate. Open innovation speaks of not just innovation that happens inside a company or inside a lab, It's about the innovation that happens across the ecosystem. It could be in academia. It could be in a crowdsourced model. It could be in a corporate plus university plus crowdsourced model. It could be people working from home. This is a new model that was not as prevalent a few years ago, but this we think is going to be the future. The next one is on connected intelligence. The amount of data points that are out there is exponentially increasing every day by day because we have connected devices. We need machine-based intelligence to acquire this data, assimilate this data, and make meaningful intelligence for business outcomes. The next circle that you see is trust. What's all of technology is an unsecure environment. You need an environment that's secure. You need an environment that's compliant to laws, to regulations, and you need an environment that is safe from cyber hackers, from criminals. You need an environment that you can operate within the sphere of trust. Digital refers to new technologies and new ways of working. New technologies like, say, a blockchain. New technologies, new ways of working, like an agile method of working. Classical software development life cycle is what is known as a waterfall methodology, where you start at the beginning with requirements and you end with finally delivering the software that you started out to do. In an agile methodology, we iterate much more often and much more quickly to iron out errors and deliver to the changing expectations of the client as soon as we can. This is relatively new. Not everyone has adapted to this, but going forward, considering the efficiency and cost advantages that may be available here, this will be the way to go. Intelligent automation. I spoke earlier of artificial intelligence, but sometimes it's not all times artificial intelligence is necessary. Sometimes it could just be mundane robotic automation. So a judicious mix of robotic process automation and cognitive intelligence like AI can help reduce cost, at the same time deliver a superior outcome as well. So these are the 6 themes that we think are for the future of transformation. What does this mean for the technology industry? How is the customer looking at consuming technology? What's changing? Buyer relationships. Earlier, the companies like Wipro would pitch to the chief information officer or the chief procurement officer. Now we pitch to the CEO, because most companies are running digital businesses, irrespective of what they do. If they manufacture cars, if they manufacture tires, or if they deliver goods, if they manufacture FMCG, all of them are now increasingly turning to digital, and which is where companies like Wipro will support in our clients, and therefore we are becoming core to our customers. To consumption models. The classical form of consumption would be to buy assets, to buy hardware, to buy software, to customize software and deploy. Increasingly, customers are asking for pay as you go, or consuming as a service model, where they pay for only what they consume and not necessarily lock up their capital in capex. Third, on people profiles. I know this audience is predominantly finance professionals, but you would have heard of skills of, say, Java or JEE. Right? These are terminologies that you might have heard of if you read in the papers. Increasingly, companies like Wipro do not necessarily want only people with one language skill or one technical expertise, which is what we call a T model. We increasingly want people who are experts in more than one technology, which we call as the X model. Fourth is on offerings. Traditionally, we had apps business and infra business, which were all separated by walls. But increasingly, as we work with our customer is only looking for an output, whether he really doesn't care how much of infra is consumed or how much of apps is consumed. He wants an output, which is resulting in an integrated delivery model of all services to customers. I spoke earlier about agile as opposed to traditional waterfall method. That's changing as well. Finally, the core value proposition is not as much as certainty and cost arbitrage as much as velocity and time arbitrage. If there are two competing companies that are going to launch a new model of, say, cell phones or even cars, which IT company can help one of them launch faster than the other? If a new cell phone model is launched 6 months ahead of its competitor, it's got a 6-month runway to capture the market. That makes a huge difference for corporates. That's what we mean by saying a velocity and time arbitrage. I'll speak more on Wipro and our vision to be a trusted partner to our clients, to enable them in the transformational journey to make outstanding business outcomes. Second, deliver industry-leading value to our clients with core competence and domain expertise driving the value that we bring. And third is our unwavering commitment to the society and our communities for a sustainable planet. So this is the triple bottom line principle, where we don't just think of profits or our business alone, but also care for the society and the environment. The slide is pretty self-explanatory in terms of the aspects of our strategy. We want to transform businesses, we want to modernize them, use connected intelligence, and trust the one that I spoke of, the safe operating environment. With our own IP, with our talent, and the ecosystem that Wipro brings to the table. People trained by Wipro in the skills that Wipro thinks is needed for tomorrow, with the IP that we have generated, along with what our partners have generated. We think that all of that gives, in combination, gives a competitive edge to Wipro in the marketplace. That was about business. The next couple of slides is about the values that we practice at Wipro. It's about being passionate about client success, treating each person with respect, be responsible and global, and unyielding integrity in everything we do. Be passionate about client success is put the success of the customer in front. Try to ensure that the customer's objectives are met when the customer works with Wipro. Treat each person with respect, whether he's a customer, vendor, employee, contractor, whoever it may be. Please treat everyone with respect. That is something that is a core of whatever we do at Wipro. Being global and responsible. We are present in global jurisdictions. We need to be compliant with the law in each of the jurisdictions that we are present in. And be responsible. Hold ourselves to a higher standard than what merely the law requires as well. And unyielding integrity in everything that we do. We wouldn't do anything that we are uncomfortable with asking someone else to do. So upholding the law in the letter and the spirit. This slide talks about the 5 habits that we practice at Wipro. Being respectful, being responsive, always communicating, demonstrating stewardship, and building trust. The habits and the values go hand in hand in how we work, and the work culture that we create within the organization. This slide talks about the diversity indices that we have. We are present. We have 70% of the population of the workforce outside India that we have. 70% of them are actually locals. The overall, we have 136 people, 136 nationalities represented in our workforce, and more than a third of them are women. 35.7 is the actual percentage. And we have trained, we take pride in a lot of trainings, but a lot of soft skills training as well as trainings focused on diversity, training focused on ensuring non-discrimination. And this particular slide talks about one such training as well. These are credentials that Wipro has acquired over the years on some of the values that we practice. We've been awarded the most ethical company for many years in a row. We are part of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index that recognizes our commitment and contribution to the cause of sustainability. And this is not something that we have done one fine day. We've been doing this over the years, and Wipro's contribution or its innovation in reporting on sustainability is something that's on record in our annual reports, in our integrated reports, in our sustainability reports over the years. Another slide on some of the distinctions that we have got in this sphere. I will now focus more on the program itself, the finance program for entry-level chartered accountants, which we call the Wipro cohort program. Some of you might have heard about the program before from your seniors, from your colleagues. This is a 2-year program that we have for entry-level chartered accountants. That's one of the unique programs in corporate India. This involves learning on the job. It involves going through a structured curriculum learning program, and it involves assignments and assessments, and an opportunity to present in front of peers and experts. And to top it all, that there is a reward and recognition for those who do well in this program. Currently, we have devised a curriculum of technical modules, and that involves 5 different subjects that you see on screen. We keep this current at all times based on the external environment, the change of technology, pace of technology, and the change of the pace of change in the finance world in terms of reporting standards, in terms of accounting standards, or any other corporate phenomena that might come up in India or abroad. This slide, current slide that I on the screen, reflects the structure of finance within Wipro. You will find 8 different departments within Wipro Finance. It's taxation, controllership, which is predominantly accounting and reporting, treasury and investor relations, financial planning and analysis, secretarial, business finance, and business support and audit. There are finance roles across the board in these 8 sub-functions within finance. And the young entry-level chartered accountant who comes on board will get to work with at least 2 of these over a period of 2 years. Yeah, okay. I missed the animation here, but yeah, this is explanatory. I went through this slide. What will you learn in the finance cohort program? You can expect to learn finance. What does that mean? Accounting and business. The program is structured in a manner that you not only learn theoretical aspects of the program of finance or accounting or with any of those technical modules, but also learn practical applications. The curriculum starts where your CA curriculum stops and adds on top of what your CA curriculum would have covered in terms of getting you ready for business, getting you ready to the IT industry, getting you ready for an international business exposure in the aspects of finance, accounting, and business. The following slides are some testimonials from current and past cohort programs, those who were in the program and who passed out as well. So I will put up these slides and you could read these testimonials yourself. This one's from Janvi. From Kamala. This one's from Keshav. From Radhika. This one's from Raman. With that, I've come to the end of my slideshow and on the presentation on Wipro and the finance cohort program. Dale, do you think we can open this up for questions now?
Sure, Pavan. There's a lag of a few minutes in between, so we'll wait for a while so that people can post questions in the chat.
Sure.
To the slides projected, or with regards to cohorts program, or with regards to the upcoming hiring procedure, please let us know in chat so that we can answer your questions now. So there's a question in chat asking from which date this program would start. So if I'm getting the question correct, you must be asking about the hiring procedure. The written test is scheduled for 4th March. And the registration has already started. You can register in the link which is circulated in WhatsApp and social media. So the registration will get over by 2nd March, and we will have the written test on 4th March. Pavan, there's a question asked, what
Yeah,
type of skills do you expect in a fresh chartered accountant?
sure. Um, the the expectation is one, of course, the that you of course you pass the CA curriculum. So the expectation is that you know the subjects that have been that you have passed. Two is that you have a reasonable, good understanding of what you went through through your articleship period. And three, the keenness uh, to learn, to learn new things, to learn business, to learn finance. These are really the three things that we look for. One, that the CS syllabus, your understanding of the CS syllabus, two, your understanding of your articleship period, and three, we look for keenness and enthusiasm to learn. Next question is on getting through the interview. Yes, I just told you the three things that we look for. If you tick all the three boxes, I think very good chance of you clearing the interview. Okay, we are giving you the link in the on the chat window as well. Okay, there will be questions that are outside the CA syllabus, but not something that may need a specific science background. It could be logical reasoning. Um, it could be quantitative analysis. But Dale, do you want to add further?
Sure. So there are three sections to it. One is your knowledge in finance. Second would be language skills. Third would be logical reasoning and quantitative questions.
Dale, there's one question on number of attempts.
We have kept a criteria of not more than 3 attempts in both groups combined in CA finals. So it should not be more than 3 attempts in both the groups combined.
Okay, there's a question on the learning program only for the freshers who cleared CA. Yes. So the cohort program is a freshers program. It's an entry level chartered accountant program at Wipro. There is also a parallel stream that sometimes we parallel stream for entry level MBA as well, but it's an entry level program, and therefore if you're already working in another organization, if you have 2 years of experience, we wouldn't we would still treat you on par with entry level if you're coming on board this program. So the recommended criteria for this is an entry level chartered accountant to come on.
Pavan, there's a question in chat asking, after the cohorts program, do our work profiles change every year, or are we confined to one work profile?
So Wipro is a great place for job rotation. We believe in giving role rotations across the board to all employees, but more so in finance. It's exemplified by this cohort program itself, where in the first 2 years, a person gets to do two roles. Year one, the person does one role. In year two, it's a different role, so that they get a different experience in a different work environment. So after year two, typically people continue in that role as though it is a regular role. But company policy is everyone asks or gets a roles rotation once every 3 years. And therefore, there is nothing like a permanent role in the organization. I have done up to 6 roles in a 15-year career. So there are different roles and opportunities as they come up. Wipro encourages rotation within the organization. So you're not going to get stuck with one role. Don't worry. But someone said, "Can I join the program and work anywhere else?" No, you cannot. This program is a pipeline for talent for Wipro. This training is not a training program to create talent for some other organization. It is a training program to create the next level of finance talent, to groom them into leaders for Wipro. So it's a full-time program with the Wipro. You can't register for the program and do something else. It's a full-time program. You will have a day job. You will have a day job from morning till evening. And during the course of the program, you will get 1 or 2 days of learning sessions, 1 or 2 days of presentations, and 1 or 2 assessment days. And you are expected to manage your work and attend these trainings and master the syllabus for it, work on your assessments and make your presentations. It will be intensive. It will be challenging, but not necessarily for many of you, because as CAs you've managed to do your internship, go for your classes, study for your exams, and still pass out. Right? So it's not something that you guys have not done before. But it's not going to be the easiest thing that will only take 6 hours a day of yours. It will consume your full bandwidth, and you will have to be committed to the program to get the benefits from the program, of the learning, of the camaraderie, of the experience. And to do that, you will have to be fully committed. This is not a part-time program.
If you have any more questions with regard to the program or the hiring process, please put it in chat. We have another probably 20 minutes time, so please put it in chat.
Jal, if there are no more questions, should we close the call a little earlier, maybe?
Sure, Pavan.
Maybe we'll give it, a few more minutes, and then to address anybody who's maybe joined a little late or little hesitant.
On how many rounds of interview would be there? So, Janvi, we have a written test at first, like on 4th March, we have written test. Whoever gets selected from the written test will get a mail from us asking to appear for the interview, which will be completely virtual. If you clear the first round of interview, you will be taken to the second round of interview, which is again technical round. So there are 2 technical rounds basically, and then whoever gets selected from the second technical round will go to the last round, which is the HR round. So the people who are clearing the interviews in each round will get to sit for 3 interviews, basically 2 technical interviews and 1 HR round.
If there are no more questions, Dale, I think we can wrap up this session.
Sure, Pavan. So
go ahead.
So just wanted to thank MCC for giving us this opportunity for talking to the students directly, and thank you, Pavan, also for your time taken towards this.
Thanks, Dale, and thank you, MCC. Thanks from my side as well.
Thank you all.